Alright guys, welcome to this page of the notes. What we just did is we just talked about the geometric mean theorems. We talked about how you get those theorems. I just showed you using a diagram that looked very similar to this, how we go about finding those geometric mean theorems. And so now let's go ahead and apply those theorems to this particular example. I want you to use the geometric mean theorems to find the value of x, y, and z. Please do not think you need to memorize those geometric mean theorems. You do not need to memorize them. All you need to do is have three different colors. Here we go. My large triangle, I will do in red. There's my large triangle right there. I know that because I have dropped in an altitude, it'll split it into two smaller triangles, and all three triangles will be similar. So let me do a triangle in blue. I'll put this guy right here in blue. There's my blue triangle. And I'll do this triangle right here in green. Here's my green triangle that I get by dropping in an altitude. What I know is that all three, the red triangle, the green triangle, and the blue triangle, are all similar. So here we go. Let's solve for our variables. We'll start with x. Okay, I need to set up a proportion. So which two triangles share that common side of x? The blue and the green triangle share x. Okay, great. Well, what else do they have, right? Well, x also has this side, this leg of 10, and the blue triangle also has this leg of 2. All we got to do, right, just remember, put the longer side on top, shorter side on the bottom. Green triangle first. Is x the longer or shorter side compared to 10? Yeah, obviously the 10 is the longer side. So it'll be 10 over x is equal to, now the blue triangle. Is x the longer or shorter side? Well, in this case, it's got to be, since x was the shorter side for the green triangle, it's got to be the longer side for the blue triangle. So it'll go on top. And to solve this guy, we cross multiply. What I wind up with then is x squared is equal to 10 times 2, which is 20. To get the x by itself, we're going to take the square root of 20. 20 is not a perfect square. Not a perfect square, but that's okay. We've been simplifying these for a while. Remember, you can rewrite 20 as 4 times 5. Why do I do that? Well, 4 is a perfect square. Pull it out. 2 square roots of 5, right? Because the square root of 4 is a 2. I can't do anything to the square root of 5. There's no way to break it down any simpler, and 5 is not a perfect square, so I'll just leave it as a square root. And cuckoo, you just found the value of x. X is the geometric mean of 10 and 2. 2 square roots of 5. Okay, let's keep going. What about y? Find y. Okay, well, y is shared by which two triangles? It is a common side for which two triangles? Red and green. Red and green. So now all I have to do is figure out what else do they have in common? Well, the red and the green triangle, right? Also run over here along the, for the green triangle, it's 10. For the red triangle, right, I got to add them together. 10 plus 2 is going to be 12. But there we go. All right, so first let's start with the red triangle. Is y the longer or shorter side compared to this guy over here? And of course, this is the hypotenuse for the red triangle, right? I know it's the hypotenuse because it's opposite the right angle. So this has to be the longer side. So for the red triangle, it'll be 12, which is 10 plus 2, all over y, which is going to be equal to, well, now the green triangle. I have this side y, which, it shares in common with the red triangle, and then this leg of 10. Well, which is the longer side? Well, once again, look, there's my right angle, which means y is the hypotenuse for the green triangle. That has, right, the hypotenuse is always the longest side in a right triangle. So it'll be y over 10. Cross multiply. Y squared is equal to 10 times 12. 10 times 12 is 120. We're going to take the square root of 120. Let's see, 120, perfect square that goes into 120. Again, please feel free to use a calculator. You'll just divide 120 by perfect squares. I believe the largest perfect square is 4. So 120 is 4 times 30. The square root of 4 is 2. So I'll have y equals 2. And the square root of 30, there's nothing else I can do to it. I can't break it down into any smaller perfect squares. So it'll just stay the square root of 30. And there you go. Y is the geometric mean. Y is the geometric mean of 10 and 12. And what is the value of it? 2 square roots of 30, which of course you can plug into your calculator and get a decimal. But it'll be an irrational number, a non-repeating decimal, because we're taking the square root of a non-perfect square. But anyway, I got one more to do. Let's do it. I want you to find z. And again, remember, I showed you the geometric mean formulas on the previous page, but not one time have I said to you, oh, memorize those geometric mean formulas so you can apply them here. All I've done is I've simply highlighted my triangles in 3 different colors, right? I'm checking to see, right, which 2 triangles share that common side, and then you set up the proportions, which we've been doing for several sections now. At this point in the geometry course, you should be able to set up proportions just in no time flat, right? These should be something you're very comfortable with at this point. Again, z is shared by the red and the blue triangle. So, red first. Red triangle has the side z, and then of course this guy right over here, which you already know is the hypotenuse of the red side. Since 12 is the hypotenuse of the red side, it has to be the longer side. So 12 over z is equal to, and now for the blue triangle, side z, which turns out to be the hypotenuse of the blue triangle, and then this little guy down here, which is 2. Well, now z is the longer side. That is black and I want blue. Z over 2. And once again, like we've been doing this entire time, we will cross multiply those guys. You wind up with z squared is equal to 24, right? 12 times 2 is 24. Take the square root. 24 is not a perfect square, but it's 4 times 6. And the square root of 4 is 2 square roots of 6, and you found your geometric mean. Z is the geometric mean of 12 and 2. What is the value of z? 2 square roots of 6. Again, you can plug that into your calculator if you wanted to. What I've got for you guys on the next page of the notes is one more example problem. We'll do the exact same thing. We'll go ahead and highlight that triangle, set up our proportions, and find the geometric mean. I'll meet you guys there.